Hey, dog in the house, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So glad you can join us. We're just waiting on one more guest. Here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, they should be joining in. Hi, welcome, Cowboy 210.
Hey,
Hey, thank you for joining us. This is session number two um, of our reintegration group. And today we'll be doing a community building circle. And so with that, let's just do a quick check-in. Um, Dog in the house, you said last time a good name for you was just dog, is that correct?
Yeah, thanks for asking. That's still cool.
Okay, awesome. And Cowboy 210, what's a good name for you that we can
Jay,
refer to you
Jay's
as?
fine.
Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, Austin, Jay, and Dog. As you know, we're all remaining anonymous for the purposes of this group. And today's session, it's just going to be us. And yeah, we'll just check in with you, Dog. How are you feeling coming into this session?
Yeah, so I know in the first session I expressed I'm kind of I guess ambivalent toward this group. Don't really know how it's gonna help me solve my problems. So I'm still a little rocky on that, but I feel better this session as compared to last, knowing that there's other people here like me feeling similar things. So I guess I would say I'm a little bit more hopeful today.
Yeah, a little hopeful. Yeah, thanks for sharing. What about you, Jay? How are you feeling coming into session two?
Uh, I can relate to what Dog's saying, the apprehensiveness. I am wanting, just some kind of support. I don't have anybody. My grandma is the only person I have, and she's getting older, and I just like nobody wants me around, and it just feels nice to just be able to talk to others.
Yeah, yeah, thanks for sharing that. Um, and today we'll be using a community building circle to guide our conversation. And let me share something with you. I'm going to share my screen. So a community building circle is it originates from an indigenous practice of building communities and also addressing harm. And of course, it's traditionally done in person where we're all sitting physically in a circle. But for the purposes of our virtual group, we'll be doing it through a Jamboard. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So what I did was I compiled our agreements that we made during last session into these sticky notes here. And what I want us to do is take a look and take a minute to just read through them and see if there's anything that you'd like to alter or edit or add or take away if you changed if you're thinking about something has changed in this last week. This is just an open space to really like solidify these agreements so that we can move forward in our group to build trust and prevent any harm from happening. And if it does happen, we know how to address it. So take a minute and let us know what you notice.
I really like all that's there. Something that really stands out to me is the commit to living offense free is kind of in between the two rows. I feel like that's both fitting in agreements and values, because I feel like, in hearing Jay say what he just did, it really resonated with me. my grandma is one of the only people I have as well. And I feel like my commitment to living offense free and reintegrating in a healthy way shouldn't just be my commitment, but my commitment to the group, knowing that there's other people like me and we're all depending on each other. But otherwise, I really still agree with everything that's here. Don't feel the need for anything to be added.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Dog. And let me ask you, if you were to put that in a value, right? What would the value be?
I guess I would just summarize that as commitment, but that's with the understanding that the group has the same mutual understanding I do. I guess maybe accountability would be a good word as well.
Yeah. Jay, what are your thoughts on adding the value of accountability on here?
Yeah, I think accountability is fine, but I just feel like, we all have different offenses. Like, I don't like feel like the offense free thing necessarily applies to my situation, but I
Mhm.
get it since, at the time my boyfriend, we were like the same age, and
Yeah.
we're closer to the same age. I was older than him when I met him,
Mhm.
in high school, and then we continued to have a relationship, and it's just like, I just think it's messed up that I have to be in this situation. It ruined my life. I wouldn't like, I don't feel like I'm a pedophile or anything like that.
Mhm.
No offense to anybody else, but I just, that's just how I feel. But to answer your question, yeah, the accountability, I get that and I agree with it.
Yeah, there was a lot in what you shared, and I appreciate that. And I'm wondering if you're open to feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog, do you have any thoughts or reactions about what Jay just shared?
Yeah, actually, I kind of, I mean, I really do hear what Jay is saying. I'm kind of in a similar situation where remaining offense free doesn't really apply to me because I had an online relationship with someone that didn't even report her age to me. And then she got mad at me and reported me to the cops, even though she claimed she was in love with me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like I did anything blatantly wrong in the first place either. And it's definitely not something I'm going to do again. If I can't see anyone's face online, I'm not going to trust any of that. But at the same time, I feel like being angry like I feel now and being upset might lead to something else bad happening. I feel like remaining offense free doesn't necessarily have to apply to sex crimes for me. It might be, I don't know, going off and doing something in rage as well.
Something yeah, so something that causes harm that perhaps isn't related to um the the reason you were incarcerated in the first place.
Yeah, and I more than anything want to reintegrate into society because it's the sex crime in the first place that's what led me here. And I feel like that's something really important that's sticking in the back of my mind, even if I know my previous crime won't be committed again.
Yeah. um yeah, there's I also see like that perspective of from both of you, that it's like it's almost unfair. Like in one instance, you didn't know the age of the person, um, and in your case, Jay, um, so I'm. Can you help me clarify what exactly were you charged with?
The I think it was something like um inappropriate, like, relationship with a minor. It I can't think of the exact name of it, but basically my boyfriend's parents found out. They didn't know he was gay, and like I was like there. They thought, they always thought we were just like friends, and it
Mhm.
was fine. And then they like took it out on me and said that I was like influencing him, and then they made him like write a police report and statement, and then I got charged with
Right.
that, and I had to go to jail, and it was horrible. Um, so yeah, I just can't think of the name right now of the exact crime.
No worries. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible experience, and I'm really sorry that you had to go through that whole thing. Um, were you like older than he was? Is that why there was
Yeah,
the issue? Okay, so
yeah, I was older, but we met when like I was in high school and
Mhm.
like still underage, and he was underage too.
I see.
And but I was always like over, and the family accepted me, and
Yeah,
then you know
yeah. I can see how that seems really unfair. And at the same time, one of the, I guess, group rules, or in being a part of this group, is that we acknowledge the offense that was done, and we commit to living an offense-free life. And so, are you able to hold those two things at the same time?
yeah,
Okay. So, okay, so then is accountability still a good word for it, or the value?
yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so I'm gonna add accountability. What else do we notice from these agreements that we made? Does we want to add anything, take away anything?
I'm good.
Same.
Okay, okay. So just to review, things like just being honest, no talking over one another, speaking from the heart, no judgment. Um, okay, and values being respect, honesty, accountability. Okay, that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So before we get into our circle, let's do a grounding exercise, just to ground ourselves in this present moment, with the acknowledgement that these topics that we're talking about, as obviously they're very heavy topics, and this group is focused on reintegration, uh, but we also acknowledge that, right, there's um, a lot of harm that was done, and so it's we want to ground ourselves in the present so we can fully show up to the circle to talk about reintegration and how best we can do that. So this is called breath counting, and it's a pretty simple process. And what we're going to do is, you can do this eyes closed, eyes open, but the instructions are on the right. So we're going to begin by taking a couple of slow and deep breaths. So we'll take a moment to do that now. And in addressing the class that's watching this, y'all can do it along with us. Grounding is good for any situation. And on the next exhale, that's going to be number 1. And from there, on each exhale, we're going to count to 9. And after 9, we come back to 1. And we're going to do this for a total of 3 times. Okay. How was that process for everyone?
Very relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to just take some time and just breathe instead of thinking about all the chaos and anxiety going on.
You can say that again.
What so did your mind wander at all?
Yeah, mine did. I feel like I opened my eyes a couple of times.
Mhm.
Just it felt weird keeping them closed. It sounds weird, but
Yeah, and what thoughts came up for you?
I personally felt like I should be doing something because, you know, every day if I'm not helping my mom out with something in our yard or helping my grandma out with something, I'm
Mhm.
out trying to get a job, trying to find an employer that will accept me despite my sex offender status. And I kind of felt like I'm doing something wrong.
Mm, yeah. Sounds like some feelings of guilt and wanting to be productive and do things.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Jay? What did you notice? What kind of thoughts?
A lot of negative ones, just like about my family, that they um they just see me as a loser, those kept coming in. Like it was relaxing, but like I had some of those like intrusive thoughts come in at times, and I just tried
Yeah,
to like not think about it, but like
right.
it's just all I think about, not having a job and living
Yeah.
with my grandma, and it just like it sucks.
Yeah. It's so interesting that even when we're doing a simple exercise such as counting our breath, as simple as we can get, such negative and intrusive thoughts come into our minds. Um, yeah, like for me, when I was doing it too, and I was just, it's like, oh, is this too long? Like, it is a group going to benefit from it? Like all those things were coming up for me as well.
Hmm.
Okay, so getting into a circle, and are y'all following along with me on the Jamboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you meet me at page 4, what we're going to do here is we're going to signify actually just sitting around a circle, and we're going to add a personally significant image. So it doesn't have to be a picture of yourself, just whatever is significant to you. Could be words, could be a cartoon, whatever has some sort of meaning to you, and just place it around the circle.
Okay.
And I'll do the same. And there's an add image function on the left-hand side. If
Hmm.
and next to your image, just put your nickname. Typically, you'd write just your name, but for this purpose, we're writing just your nickname, and I'll write my name. And to write your name, there's a text box on the left-hand side, second from the bottom. And if you're on your phone or, oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm not too good with technology. All I could find was my pen, so I put a D for dog.
I see. Okay, thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, so here we are sitting, right? Sitting around a circle. And so I'll start us off. So I put a picture of a bee just pollinating a flower, and it's significant to me because I care about our pollinators, and I want, yeah, I want to see more of them. I want to see life around me flourish, and that's why they're important to me. And I'll pass it to my left, which is dog.
That's pretty cool. I actually put a picture of my personal dog. The reason my name is Dog in the House is my dog means a lot to me. It's really our family dog because, like I said, I live with my mom and grandmother since I can't afford a house right now. But dogs don't judge people unless people are mean to them. And I feel like my dog sometimes is the only thing I have left in my life that truly looks at me as just a person without my status, without my convictions, without my past.
Yeah. And then if you could pass it along to your left.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's your turn, Jay.
I like what you said about the dog. I think I need one, some kind of animal. I put mine, like, I just feel like I am just wasting away and a waste of space a lot of times because it's just so hard to do anything, even like dating, like nobody wants to date a registered sex offender.
Yep.
I had a date and somebody looked me up and like they never got back to me. They just said like you're a pedophile, and they just label you and don't like understand like there's like other situations that could happen. It's just like everybody sees you in that way, and it's ruined my life. And I don't know if like anything's gonna get better. I do like this support. It is really helpful, but it just like I don't you can't change society's mind about sex offenders or people who have that status. Like it's really hard.
Yeah. And Jay, will you pass it to along to your left? Or
Is that back to you?
yeah, it's only three of us. But yeah, it's back to me. And what I want to do is open it up to the group, and in this case, dog. um, any. Well, first, let me ask you, Jay, are you open to feedback?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And dog, and no pressure to provide feedback, but since you are the other person in this group, do you have any feedback for Jay?
Yeah, I feel like I relate to a lot of what Jay has said this whole session, but here too, when I first saw that picture he posted, I thought, wow, it felt like it spoke to something inside me. It feels like the way I interpreted that picture, it was like people chip away at those little pieces of you that you see flying away from that person in the picture. And I do kind of feel the same way sometimes, just wasting away, waiting for something good to come along. Sure, I'm seeking it out, but it's obviously hasn't gotten me anything so far. And it's really hard not to get discouraged sometimes. I really appreciate Jay sharing so openly. It really helps me.
Yeah. Jay, would you like to respond?
Yeah, it's good to, be able to talk to other people that are in similar situations, without that fear of like judgment and like all the stuff that I've been having to go through in my life. And yeah, it's helpful to also like hear like how other people like deal with stuff like the dog. I didn't really think about getting a dog, or like that could be something that could like at least like something that doesn't judge me, you know,
Yeah.
um aside from like being a part of this group. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I want to do now is open up the group open up the floor to discuss the mind maps that we created last time. If you all recall, we created a mind map last time where we kind of made a visual of what's the categories that are important to us in our lives. And we didn't get a chance to share too much about it last time. I just wanted to open up briefly, and I'll pass it to you, Dog, to highlight anything that you noticed, what was important to you, and then you can pass it along to Jay.
Okay, well, when I did my mind map, writing the things down that were important to me really helped show me what I'm fighting for, I guess. It's not just me to clear my name, it's all those things that are around me that are my still existing supports, even if I am judged, even if there's very few of them. But it also reminded me of those supports that aren't human. Maybe it's my writing, it's my working in the garden for my grandma. I get great benefit out of that too. Just like the grounding exercise we did, it helps ground me, keep me where I am, remind me I really am alive and working towards something better. What about you, Jay?
I honestly had a really hard time trying to find something that is, or think of something that's important to me aside from my grandma, who has been the only one in my family who has been understanding and caring enough to keep me around. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm holding on to right now. Like, just helping her out and, taking care of her. Cause like I said, I just, there's not, like, everything has just kept happening, and not being able to find a job and, like, do anything has really just impacted my sense of, like, worthiness, or, hope, and just everything. But I do have her, at least, so there's one thing. So yeah.
Yeah, so one thing that you noticed on your mind map was just how significant that your grandmother was in your life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we're coming to an end, I just want to just go around one more time and see if there's anything that you'd like to lay out on into the circle before we come to a close. So, Dog.
Yeah, so I know it's still early, but I feel like still every time I come here, still being only 2 times, like I opened up the session with, I feel even more hopeful than I did coming into the second session, listening to Jay share so openly, and the tip for you, the facilitator, to help us with what we're feeling and help us collaborate. It really helps being able to get all this out, because when I try to tell other people that haven't experienced similar situations, they just think of me as a true criminal. Why did you do this? There's no reason for it. They don't care about my backstory. So I just want to say I appreciate both of you all sharing. And this is one of the few times a week that I actually kind of look forward to, even though I still feel a little bit of skepticism.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jay.
Yeah. It is, like I said earlier, like, just to be able to talk to other people is nice. I don't have that in my life. But yeah, I agree with what Dog was saying. Um, it, I still have, I don't know how helpful this is gonna be or not, but I can say that, like, hearing Dog share and the things that, like, help him out, and you know, even the gardening thing, like just having some kind of like hobby to like occupy your mind can be helpful. And I know my grandma likes that stuff. She just like can't figure out how to like do it because she's older. So maybe that's something I can like help her with. And so yeah, I mean, it gives me things to like maybe look forward to, because I know that I'm pretty negative, and I, you know, but that's just the situation right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. We're going to go into our closeout for the circle. And then afterwards, we can wrap up the session with some more details about the reintegration process. But for now, we'll just share a single sentence checkout. And for me, I'm just very grateful that y'all are here today and willing to open up, and yeah, just be open to a better future. So, Doug.
Yeah, I guess the word I would use to leave is subdued, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that to say I'm more at ease than I was coming into this. I still felt like I was going to be outcast, even though I'm in a group with people that can share some of the same feelings I do. And I feel a lot more calm and in a better place about being in this group. So Jay.
Mine would be a good word. I mean, calm. I mean, I like the word calm. Like I feel better than I did coming in. So that's an improvement.
Awesome. So with that, we'll wrap up circle, and yeah, we'll stop it right there.